Welcome to my channel. I'm Sochi, and today's topic is going to be 10 steps on how I feel that you can make it through basic training through the military. Well, specifically the Army, because that's what I did. I feel like everyone's experience is going to be a little bit different. So honestly, you can take my opinion and see how it goes for yourself, or just be mindful of what I'm saying, because more than likely everyone that I was around during my training, we all kind of experienced the same thing. The number one thing that I would honestly say would be exercise before you go. Don't be that individual who gets there and they are completely unfit. You will have the hardest time through basic training because the majority of the stuff you're running around, you're exercising, you're crawling, you're doing very extraneous activity. And I would honestly say make sure you practice your 2 miles before you go. Even if your times aren't good, just start to prepare your body for what you're getting yourself into. Work on your sit-ups every night, do your push-ups every night before you go. It's a little bit harder for males than it is for females. Not saying that it's easier for other than, it's just the number wise I'm saying it's a little bit harder. Their requirements are a little bit higher than ours. So for females, I would just say make sure you practice every night. At least try to do the minimum 20 every night. If you do it every night, you'll start to build muscle memory. So then it will help you out whenever it's time for you to get there. Same thing with sit-ups, muscle memory. You can do planks and stuff, but honestly, sit-ups will honestly help you get through, practicing your sit-ups will help you get through basic training. Being able to shoot, those are the basic requirements. Being able to shoot, being able to maintain, passing your classes. You're just not going to sleep. That's honest truth, so be prepared for that when you go. Number two, make sure you maintain your weight before you go. A lot of people, they make it through MEPS and they get their day they're supposed to leave for basic training, and then they're eating a bunch, they're not working out, they're not doing anything, so it kind of puts you back. Don't gain a bunch of weight. Maintain what you got to stay in MEPS. Just take it serious, because it really could be taken away from you easily if you're not meeting the basic requirements, and you will have a harder time during basic training. My battle buddy, she was not in passing PT or weight when she got there, and her ass didn't make it. It's sad to say, but it's just the truth. She struggled a lot. She honestly made it a lot harder for us, because as they say, you are your weakest person in your group. So if she's not passing, they're gonna make everyone do whatever she's doing to make sure that she gets where she needs to be, because it's also a reflection of your company. You'll learn about that once you get there, and your platoon. Also, step 3, eat healthy in basic training. When I joined basic training, when I went to go for basic training, I had to lose a lot of weight. Initially, I was 185. I had to drop down to 165. I did a diet from June until that upcoming year to maintain my weight, and I lost the weight to get to 165. It was very mentally challenging because I had never been told that I was fat. And not saying that you're fat, it's just saying overweight. I was a cheerleader in high school, so I thought I was always in the best shape. So when someone told me, oh, you need to lose weight, it kind of hit me like a dagger in the chest. Yes, there's people that are overweight. There is in the military, you either get weighed or you get taped. So if you're getting taped, they do your neck, your waist, and your hips. Most black girls usually have bigger hips, waist, so it's a little bit harder to pass taping. So if you have the bigger hips or waist ratio, then I would honestly say get to the number. That will help you make sure that you can actually get in and maintain what you need to do. Not to saying that the weight requirements are specifically for black people, but I feel like it does hinder a lot of African Americans or people of color, because a lot of us do have bigger hips and smaller waist, and that affects it, and smaller necks. Having a bigger neck is a joke in the Army, but having a bigger neck will honestly help you in the long run, because then you're able to, how can I say, you're able to make sure that you can make it. The bigger the neck, the easier it is to pass taping. Getting weighed, you just step on the scale, you hit the number, you're good. You're not having to do the taping. Step 4, mind your fucking business. I hate to say it like that, but in basic training, you need to mind your business. You need to focus on yourself. You need to mentally prepare yourself. You don't need to worry about what the next person's doing, because what they're doing has no effect on if you're going to make it through basic or not. Yes, making friends is also a very key thing because they're going to be lifelong friends, but minding your business will help you get through a lot. Don't let someone else bring you down. It's really easy to get recycled. Don't be that individual, because it's like, man, you're having to be there longer than you want it to be. You're probably going to be miserable with the recyclees because it's not a good look. Sometimes they may not even recycle you. They may just send you home. It's just, you need to make sure that you're on your P's and Q's for yourself. Don't worry about the next man. I'll say that you need to make sure that you're mentally right. Make sure you're mentally strong. Make sure that you really pray, because sometimes, like, right when you think about it, basic training sounds horrible. It sounds miserable. But when you look at the end, you're like, man, that was probably the funnest time of my military career. During my military career, for me, basic was the funnest thing. Annual trainings are fun and stuff because I'm reserve, but reservists and active duty all do basic training together, so it's no difference. You all get the same training from the jump, so don't think reservists, National Guard are going to be in one and then the next are going to be in the other. No, you're all together. I'll honestly say it was really fun. When I was going through it, it was terrible because my attitude was terrible. So for the next step, I was saying 5, make sure you have a good attitude. Don't be the person that thinks they're grown. Yeah, you're grown, and yeah, your sergeant, who is your drill sergeant, might be your same age, but they're not. They're still gonna talk crazy to you. They're still gonna get in your face. They're still gonna do the same things. So just maintain respect. Maintain a positive attitude. Don't go in there thinking you're big bad, because then you're going to affect your whole platoon, and then your whole platoon is going to end up hating you because you're the main reason why they're getting smoked. My platoon didn't hate me, but I was the main reason why they were getting smoked. And then I had to chill out because red phase was starting to become hell. It was really bad, and it just became overwhelming. And I was always writing papers every night while everyone else is sleeping. I was miserable. So just be mindful what you're getting yourself into. Mind your business. Have a positive attitude. And honestly, you'll be fine. What else is there? Number 7. This is one of the biggest things I'll tell you guys. If you do not have your own bank account, you need to go there with your own information. There's been so many situations that I've known that had their friends let their mom into their account. And for weeks and weeks and weeks, you don't have access to the bank. You don't know what's going into your account. You don't know how much money. It's only when you're able to go to the PX is when you realize that, okay, how much money you got in your account. There's been so many occasions that I saw where people were going to their account and they weren't getting paid. And you would see the sergeant's face and they'd be like, And we're like, what? And it's because their families were going into their accounts and taking all of their money. Do not give your account information to anyone while you're in basic training. You don't want to be that individual who is completely broke. It's sad, it's depressing, because you don't even have anything to buy yourself something to eat. You can't do what everyone else is doing. Yeah, it's okay that you probably are the person that's helping your family. Unless you're married, okay, cool. But it's people who aren't married and their parents are just taking their money. And they have no reason to. They're just using that money. Be mindful of that. Make sure you have your own account information. If you need to set up some money, set up so you can go into the account. Do not give them your routing number or any bank information, because that money may not be there when it's time to get in. Number 8, don't do anything stupid. Don't get caught trying to have sex. Don't get caught fighting. Don't get caught. Just don't do anything stupid. During my trial, we had this girl. We were in the last stage. We were in the final stages of going home. We had to do the 12-mile march, and then we were out of here. This girl, during the time we were out there, because we had to be out in the woods for about, we were out there for about 7 days. On the last day, we did the march, but then we had like a really big kind of like fight against the drill sergeants. We were all chasing them, shooting and doing all that fun stuff. Homegirl decides to get pissed at one of her friends and takes the weapon and points at the girl and pretends to shoot her. Mind you, we had the blanks over the weapon, so you really couldn't shoot anything. It would just make a loud noise, and you'll see like a really bright flick of fire in it. But she did that. She ended up getting sent home. Made it through the march and still didn't. She didn't even get to enjoy her military experience. So she wasted all the entire time of those 10 to 11 weeks and didn't even get to do anything. She ended up having to stay there, be recycled, and get discharged. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't a get discharged. So just make sure you don't do anything stupid. Don't get caught trying to have sex. I know that you thinking that's such a big thing because you're out there. It's not. 9 times out of 10, your sex drive kind of declines tremendously. You don't have that same thrive that you probably had before. They give you some type of shot and it kind of just stops your hormones, I think. Like, it's like, I think it's a birth control in a sense, but men don't really have erections in the morning, and women, we stop having our periods the entire time. So I really honestly think it's like a really strong birth control. So just be mindful and don't go out there cheating. Don't go out there cheating on your significant other because you're bored. It's stupid. Don't think that the love or your battle buddy love that you got out there is gonna last you, because it may not. Just focus on what you came there for, and don't let an individual put such an influence on yourself or make you feel that you've got to do something out there that you don't want to do. Don't go into AIT cheating on your significant other. Just behave. Behave, y'all. If you behave and mind your business, you'll be fine. 9, I don't know if I just said 9, but whatever, we're going with 9. So 9, make sure you make the most of your experience. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, you honestly won't remember what you did the day before. You'll look back 2 weeks later and you'll be like, yo, I don't remember what I did that week. It just becomes like, it just starts to drag along. Your days start to run together, and it just becomes difficult for you to honestly tell someone what you did. I know from my experience, by the end of my battle, my cycle, I honestly didn't remember a lot of the things, but the fact of the matter was, I remember the important stuff. I remember what I went through. I know that you just need to be, just make the most of your memories and try to be careful. I know that it's really fun, but be mindful. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt, don't keep trying to push through it because you don't want to make it so you have to get sent home. I know that I broke a tooth out there. I got it fixed, but I know there's people who've been out there and dislocated their hips from the march. I know there's people who fractured their hips. I know there's people who've broken their ankles, broken their legs out there. So you just need to be mindful and just be careful. Don't try to be out there and be the strongest soldier. Just do what you need to do to get home. Make a high PT score. If you want to be the top soldier, it's pretty much the best soldier, then study. Study. There's a lot of material. You need to know the weapons. Know the soldier's creed. That's really important because you chant it every morning. Just make sure you have fun. That's all I'll say. Just make sure you have fun. 10. Push yourself when it comes to PT. Honestly, PT, you don't have to be the brightest of the bunch, but if you can pass a run time, a push-up time, and a sit-up time, you will make it far in the military. And that's sad to say. Not even in the military. I'll say the Army, because the Air Force don't play with the slower people. I'm not saying that anyone's slower, but people who aren't academically on the higher level, they usually don't go for the Air Force because you can't make it without having a good ASVAB score. But just make sure you do that. Like, just make sure you do well on your PT, man. Like, don't be that person who has to go to what we consider fat camp. Sorry to say, there's nothing wrong if you're on the bigger side, but you, in the military, being big is not necessarily good. It's not going to get you that far, and it's kind of like people look at you like, what are you doing? And they kind of look at you like, hey, you really need to either you need to go home or you need to get it together. And you have a battle buddy that you're always with constantly. So if that person's not doing good, you need to push them because you're going to be affected as well. And it sucks to say, but it's just the truth. Out of all these steps, I honestly say these helped me get through my process. They helped me keep mentally. I had to really check my attitude, and I really had to focus on myself. And that's one thing I'll say that you really need to do. And thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Tell me what you think. Tell me your experience once you go. Come back and tell me how it went for you. I went in at 18, so just be mindful that there's a lot of people who go in there who are like 25, sometimes higher, up in the 30s. So that's just be mindful of that. Be respectful, and you'll have a blast. The beginning is just the terrible part. Your drill sergeants end up showing their personalities throughout So you'll end up get to really know them. Some of them you become really close to. So just be mindful of that. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm Sochi. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.